all, welcome back. Welcome back to one more session on coding in System Verilog. Today is the session 2 in which we are going to discuss about associative arrays within System Verilog. In the previous session, we have already discussed about dynamic arrays, which I have already linked it in the description box. If you want, you can check it out. And in today's video, we are going to discuss about associative arrays. Before going into today's video, if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing my channel and hit on the notification bell also. In this channel you could find courses related to design and verification domain like Verilog, System Verilog, UVM and other some protocols like APB, AXA, etc. Right? So if you are someone who is interested in any of these courses, or if you know anyone who are enthusiastic to learn these courses, you can share this channel to them. Hope it will be helpful for them. Right? So coming into today's video, which is associative arrays. Before going into coding in associative arrays, let's just discuss the basics in associative arrays. Okay, coming to associative arrays was mainly designed in order to design a circuit when basically these associative arrays are mostly used when you are designing something which should have large amount of space. Okay, basically for example, when we design memories, okay, in such cases for memories you need large amount of space, is it or not? So while designing memories or some design which needs large amount of space, we will be opting for associative arrays. This is one important thing related to associative arrays. And when coming to some basic differences between associative and dynamic arrays, basically you all know that in dynamic array we need to allocate the memory before using that particular array. Okay, compared to fixed size array, dynamic array is advantageous. Why is it? Because in fixed size array, as soon as you have created the array, as soon as you have declared the array, you need to fix the size of that particular array. But in case of dynamic array, that is not the case. Okay, even though you have declared the array somewhere, you can fix the size of that particular array. You can create the memory for that particular array when you are during the runtime in case of dynamic array. But you need to allocate the memory before using that particular array. Only you need to allocate the memory in case of dynamic array, but that is not the case in associative array. In associative array you can allocate the memory when you are using that particular array. Okay, for example, you have declared some associative array, you can declare the memory, or you can just declare the size of that particular array when you are using that particular associative array. Until and unless you are not using that array, you no need to create the memory for that particular array in case of associative arrays. This is one of the major difference between dynamic array and associative array. Another important difference in case of dynamic and associative array is that in case of dynamic array, you will be using only some particular data types like integers. Okay, when you want to create the memory locations, you can create it where the memory locations are only integer data type in case of dynamic array or fixed array also. But in associative array, that is not the case. You can use any kind of data type you need when you are declaring the memory allocations. That is advantageous, because not only int, mostly you can declare string memory allocations also by using this associative arrays. Right? So this is about the some of the basic differences between dynamic array, associative array. Okay, and some of you have asked me to give the in detailed explanation about these arrays and all. I have already made that video, and I have made the video in detail explaining about all the arrays in System Verilog. I'll link that also in the description box. You can go there and check it out in order to have a in detail explanation about every array in System Verilog. Right? So today's session, in these sessions you can only expect how to write the code or how to analyze the codes on that particular concept. Right? So just like dynamic arrays, which we have discussed in the previous class, associative arrays also having many methods, like in order to resize the array, or in order to enter something, or in order to delete something, in order to know the size of the array. Just like dynamic array is having methods, associative array is also having methods. Okay, since we have discussed the methods in dynamic array, I'm not going to again discuss the methods in associative array, because mostly the methods will be same in dynamic and associative array. Just some 2 or 3 methods will be included within associative array compared to that of dynamic array. And since we have already written a code on array methods in dynamic array, so in today's video I'm not going to touch about the methods. What we are going to discuss today is that we are going to nest the arrays. We are going to write the nested code of arrays. That means if you see the code here, this is dynamic array of associative arrays. That means we are going to nest the dynamic array and associative array. So, okay, we are going to write a code which includes both dynamic and associative arrays at once in this code. If such code exists, how is it going to happen? So firstly module, okay, and then in, right? So this is the int fruits. Okay, fruits is the name, and here if you see, this is the dynamic array. You already know that dynamic array will be declaration will be in this format, empty, and along with this, it is one more array. This is associative array. Okay, so basically you can just mention which data type you are going to use within that particular memory allocation, or else if you don't want to just give the data type, you can just mention it as star data type. Okay, you can just mention the star in order to notate the data type. Star means any kind of data type you are using also, it will be considered and you are keeping a star. But if you want your memory to be only for that particular data type, you have to mention which data type it is. For example, in this, the memory allocations are of string data type. Okay, so that means I am going to create associative array which is of string data type. That is why I am just mentioning it as string, right? So this is dynamic array of associative array. So this is how I am declaring. Now within initial begin, and within initial begin, since you are using the dynamic array, so you need to allocate the memory locations. That means you need to declare the size of the array. How you are going to declare it? Okay, this is my size of my particular dynamic array, which is this fruits equal to new of 2. That means the size of my dynamic array is 2. Okay, so 2 of string, right? Clear? So if you see here, now this is the difference between dynamic and associative array. If you see here, I have created only the memory allocation for, I have declared only the allocations for only dynamic array. But for associative array, you no need to do that. As whenever you are using it, you can here automatically the memory will be allocated as soon as you are using that particular associative array. Using is nothing but when you are assigning the values, automatically the memory is created for that particular associative array. Clear? So since the new of 2, so basically it will be fruits of 0, fruits of 1, because it is 2 memory locations. So basically this is how it is. Okay, 2 memory locations, which is new of 2, so 0 and 1 memory location. Okay, so within 0, okay, whenever I want to assign the values, I will just assign with tick symbol. Okay, tick in within flower braces, and I have already declared that within the associative array, the memory allocation is of string data type. So this is my string data type. So if you see here, this is my associate dynamic array, which is 0 1, and within this there are again 2 memory locations. Okay, here the first memory location is of apple named, and the second memory location is of grape named. Similarly, the first memory location is of melon named, and the second memory location is of cherry named. Okay, for this apple, okay, what is the element I have assigned? I have assigned the element 1. Okay, for this grape, I have assigned the element 2. So if you see here, these apple and grape are not elements, they are the names of that memory location. Just like 0 and 1 are the memory allocations for dynamic array, similarly apple and grape are the memory allocations. Okay, that is here apple and grape, and the value that I am assigning into apple is 1. Similarly, a value I am assigning into grape is 2. value I'm assigning to Milan is 3 and cherry is 4. Okay, so in this way I have just initialized. In this way you will be initializing the arrays by using the dynamic array. Okay, now when you want all these values to be displayed, how are you going to do it? You already know that we have discussed in the previous while we are discussing about dynamic arrays for each. Okay, for each fruits of I. Okay, so what I am doing again, for each fruits of I means for fruits of 0 and fruits of 1, these are going to be displayed. So how am I going to display it here? For each fruits of I of fruit, that means here I am going to display it in a manner like, if you see here, fruits of I of fruit, that means fruit of 0. What I want to display like this is fruit of 0, that means this is the fruits. Okay, within this fruits, okay, these are my memory locations, which is I, which is 0 location or first location, and within this again I am declaring fruits. What are these? Apple, grape, melon and cherry. So that is what I am going to declare, fruit, which should be displayed as some values. That means I want to display this value, which is percentage d. Okay, so for every loop, that means within the memory location 0, again it is having inbuilt. So it is, since it is nested within 0, again it is having another two memory locations, where the first memory location is apple, the second memory location is grape, and within the grape it is having value 2, within the apple it is having 1. Okay, so now coming to this, I am displaying it as fruits of percentage d of percentage s, because this is numbers, so percentage d, and this is string, so percentage s equal to the values again within the percentage s is integer, so it is percentage d, and I am displaying everything. Now if we see the output of this particular code, what will be the output? Here if you see fruits of 0, within the 0 memory location I am having the string memory location, which is apple, so the apple value is 1, grape value is 2, and the cherry value is 4, the melon value is 3. In this way the values will be displayed. Clear? So this is how you will be displaying the values within the dynamic array of associative arrays. Hope you got an idea on this. Now the same thing when we are using create dynamic array with each index of an within each index of an associative array. That means we are going to declare a associative array, and within associative array if you want to include the dynamic array, how you are going to do it? Because if you see the first program, here we have taken the dynamic array, within dynamic array you are nesting the associative array. When that is opposite the case, like we are taking the associative array and we want to add the include the dynamic array within the associative array, then how are we going to do it? Okay, so for the dynamic array, before going into the particular associative array, okay, first I will be using the type def in order to create my dynamic array. Okay, so int da. Okay, whenever you want to create anything, whenever you want to define anything, you can use this keyword type def in order to create. So let us see how this particular code is there. Okay, you can write it any way you like, but let us see how this is going to how this code was framed in order to know if we are going to use the associative array within the dynamic array. So module tb, and this is my int da fruits of string, so this is my associative array. Okay, so this is string, so you know that for basically any other data type apart from int data type we will be using the associative array. So int here fruits of, now if you see here fruits of apple equal to, here if you see, for this is my string, so for my string I have created a memory location named apple. So for this, okay, this is my apple, and within this I am creating a new of 2, which is dynamic array. Okay, now you may get a doubt like where have I created the dynamic array? See, that is why first you will be creating the dynamic array within the associative array, and then you are just taking. Now that means within the apple I am having two memory locations, which is 0 and 1. Okay, so now fruits of apple equal to, I'm going to assign the values. As soon as I have created the dynamic array, I'll be assigning the values. So within 0 the value is 4 and within 1 the value is 5. Now if you want to, okay, if this is such a code and if you want to display these values, how are you going to do it? See, for each of fruit of string 1, why is it? Because this is fruit. Okay, for each fruits of fruit which is this, that is in a string data type. So fruits of string 1, so fruits of string of I. So in order to display fruits of string of I, that means within fruits you are having apple, within apple you are having 1. Okay, sorry, I. So I is nothing but 0 or 1. I want to display what is there in that particular, within fruits, within apple and within 0, what is the value that is there. Similarly, it is just in a hierarchical model. Okay, so string 1, fruits of string of I. So what will be displayed if you are seeing like this? The output will be fruits of apple of 0 is 4, fruits of apple of 1 is 5. Okay, so in this way you can nest dynamic array to associative array, or associative array to dynamic array, and you can just take it as it is. Clear? So this is how you are using this dynamic and associative arrays within your system Verilog. Okay, after seeing this, if you are still having any doubts, you can ping me in the comment box. I'll definitely answer your questions. And also, if you like this video, please do like it and also share it to all the VLSI aspirants who also want to enter into design and verification domain. That is all for today. Thank you.